name is Rachel Cremean, and I'm 18 years old, and I'm from Berkeley, Michigan. I grew up in a Christian home with great Christian parents, and we went to church every Sunday, and most of elementary school and middle school I went to a Christian school, so I was pretty sheltered and naive. My 8th grade year, I went back to public school, which is a very interesting transition. I started to care less about God and what He thought of me, and I started to care way more about the people around me and what they thought of me. And by 10th grade, I basically lost all sort of connection with God. I didn't even talk to Him at all or pray unless I needed help on a test or something. My friends all smoked and drank, but I didn't really get into that, but they also stole a lot, and I definitely got into that. The first day of spring break of 10th grade, my friends and I got arrested for stealing beer. I lost all sort of trust that my parents had, so they just had me under lock and key, I was grounded, and I very quickly slipped into a depression. By the summer, I was a little bit better. I wasn't so down, but I still felt like my life didn't have much worth, and I started doing the same stuff I was before. I was just way more sneaky about it. Halfway through the summer, my parents and I went to Montana to visit my sister. She was working at a camp out there called Clydehurst, and I just didn't really want to face it. I subconsciously knew that going to a Christian camp, I felt like something could happen, and I was kind of scared of that. But then when I went to camp, I met all these people who were the most fun people I've ever met and ever hung out with, and it's that's what it is to be a Christian. It's not a set of rules to just hope you don't mess up. So it's a living relationship with a real person, God, and that's what I wanted. I would stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning reading my Bible and praying, and I don't really know how to describe it. It's something you can only really feel, but I could really feel God, and I knew He was telling me to move. I just didn't really know where or what that meant. On the way home from camp, I was, in the car for 24 hours, just not really doing anything, and this thought just popped into my head, and was be homeschooled. No, that's lame. No, I don't want to do that. I'll lose my friends. I'm not doing that. But it kept coming into my head, and I was okay, this has to be God. I was okay, I'll talk to my parents about this and see what they have to say. So I sat them down and I told them everything that had been going on with me and how I didn't want to fall back into the same patterns and influences that I had been when I was at Berkeley. And that's when we decided that I would be homeschooled. I was forced to rely on God and go to the good influences I had in my life as opposed to the influences I had been letting dictate my life before. God has surrounded me with such amazing people who have pushed me, and I've grown so much in my relationship with God ever since I finally took that step to commit to trusting in Him.